Forklift Test Questions and Answers 2023. True or false? You always have to wear your seatbelt when operating the forklift. True. How many people are killed per year operating or working near forklifts and other powered industrial trucks? 100. True or false? If you are on medication which tells you not to operate heavy equipment, you should ask your supervisor to be assigned to a non-forklift position. True. True or false? Never smoke while changing propane tanks. True. What PPE should you use while charging forklift batteries? Gloves, aprons, face shield and goggles. How many points of contact should you have when getting on and off the forklift? 3. What should each forklift driver have? Hint: 3 things. Classroom training topics, hands-on training with an experienced operator and operator evaluations. True or false? Employees cannot operate forklift if they are under the age of 18. True. What should forklift surfaces be checked for? Slippery and uneven surfaces, obstructions, load-bearing capacity and overhead clearance. When is a forklift said to be unattended? When the operator is 25 feet or more away from the vehicle. What should you do when you leave a forklift unattended? Hint: 4 things. Lower the load engaging means, shut off power and set up brakes, neutralize controls and block the wheels if parked on an incline. What direction should you drive the forklift when carrying a load up an incline? Forward. What direction should you drive the forklift when carrying a load downhill? In reverse. If you're loading 2 objects of different weights on a single forklift, where should the heavier one be placed? Closer to the mast. What should you do at the start of the day shift? Check that the machine is in operable condition. What controls should be used when using the hydraulic controls? Hint: 2 things. The parking brake and neutral gear. If you are on flat ground and the load is blocking your view, what direction should you drive the forklift? In reverse and looking back in the direction you are traveling. True or false? The load center on a counterbalanced forklift truck is the distance from the front face of the forks to the center of gravity of the load. True. What should you do if a fault develops on the forklift during operation? Park the forklift and report the fault immediately to your supervisor or manager. What direction should an unladen lift truck have its forks pointing? Down a gradient to improve stability, traction and braking. True or false? While you are operating a forklift in a working environment, it is your job to be aware of all pedestrians. True. What does it mean if a truck has a rated capacity of 2,000 kilograms at 500 millimeters load center? It means any load about the rating cannot be safely picked up. What is the ideal way to pick up a pallet? With the wider face of the pallet up against the forks. What direction should the load face on a laden heavily loaded truck being driven on a ramp or incline? Uphill. What is the main purpose of the overhead guard? To protect the operator if loose items such as boxes are dropped from height. When leaving the forklift, what should you do with the keys? Switch the keys off and remove them to prevent an unauthorized person from using the forklift. True or false? The lift truck should normally be driven at a speed consistent with the type of load and general working conditions. True. What should the forklift operator do if the load appears to be stacked unsafely and in danger of collapse? Hint: 3 things. Leave the load alone, cordon off the area, inform the supervisor, manager. What do you need to do with the fork to make sure a laden pallet can be lifted safely? Make sure the fork width is adjusted so that the spread is equal weight on each fork arm. What is the most frequent type of forklift accident that results in serious injury? The tip over. True or false? You can ride directly on the truck's forks. False. No person can ride directly on the truck's forks. What should the forklift driver always do before making a turn? Hint: Bobby Valentino song, Slow Down. True or false? The forklift operator's arms, hands and legs should always remain within the truck. True. How do forklift accidents normally occur? When the truck tips over or falls off the loading dock. True or false? At any time you should never get under a raised load. True. How often does a forklift operator's performance need to be evaluated? Every 3 years. What is the forklift operator responsible for checking? The security of the trailer before loading or unloading. True or false? It's never okay to travel with a load raised to its maximum height. True. When do repairs need to be done to a forklift, before or after it's used? Before it's used. What direction should you drive on a ramp or incline when traveling with a loaded forklift? Reverse or backing down the incline? How many inches should a load be carried on a smooth incline? 2 to 4 inches. True or false? Pedestrians always have the right of way. True. What lever moves the forks up and down? The left lever moves the forks up and down. True or false? You can use your phone while operating a forklift. False. You cannot use your phone while operating a forklift. Who is allowed to ride on the forklift? O and Ly, the forklift operator. Where can you find the load capacity, lift height and forklift weight? On the manufacturer's plate. True or false? The forklift must travel with the load close to the ground and at a safe speed. True. What should you do in the event of a rollover? Hint: 3 things. Remain in the cab, hold on, and lean away from the impact. Who can operate the forklift? Only trained and authorized workers. What way should a forklift driver look while operating the truck? In the direction of travel. Where should the position of the load be when traveling with a laden lift truck on level ground? As close to the ground as practical, with back tilt applied to stabilize the load. What is the correct way to approach a stack? Hint: 3 things. Stop 6 inches from the stack, apply parking brake and raise the forks. Type S forklifts. 1 electric motor counterbalanced, sit-down rider, solid or pneumatic tires. 2 electric motor, narrow aisle, stand-up rider, solid tires. 3 electric motor hand truck or hand rider, trucks, pallet jack, solid tires. 4 internal combustion engine trucks, sit down, solid tires. 5 internal combustion engine trucks, sit down, pneumatic tires. 6 electric and internal combustion engine tractors, sit down, solid and or pneumatic tires. 7 rough terrain reach forklift trucks, sit down, pneumatic tires. Type S of electric motor counterbalanced trucks. 1 electric motor counterbalanced, sit down rider, solid or pneumatic tires. 2 electric motor, narrow aisle, stand-up rider, solid tires. Type S of electric motor hand trucks or hand rider trucks. 1 electric motor hand truck or hand rider, trucks, pallet jack, solid tires. Type S of internal combustion engine trucks with solid tires. 1 internal combustion engine trucks, sit down, solid tires. 2 internal combustion engine trucks, sit down, pneumatic tires. Type S of electric and internal combustion engine tractors with solid and pneumatic tires. 1 electric and internal combustion engine tractors, sit down, with solid and pneumatic tires. Type S of rough terrain forklift trucks. 1 rough terrain reach forklift, sit down, pneumatic tires. In order to add an attachment to a forklift, who do you get approval from? Manufacturer and the employer must mark the forklift showing the new weight with attachment and maximum capacity at highest elevation. Forklift operating topics to be covered. 1 operating instructions. 2 warnings and precautions for forklifts individual will be using. 3 differences between a forklift and automobile. 4 controls and instrumentation, i.e. where located, what they do, how they work. 5 engine or motor operation. 6 steering and maneuvering. 7 visibility, including restrictions due to loading. 8 fork and attachment adaptation, operation and use limitations. 9 capacity, 10 stability. 11 inspection and maintenance required to perform. 12 refueling or charging, recharging of batteries. 13 operating limits. Workplace topics to be covered. 1 surface conditions. 2 composition of loads to be carried and load stability. 3 load manipulation, stacking and unstacking. 4 pedestrian traffic. 5 narrow aisles. 6 use of door opening and closing devices. 7 hazardous operating locations. 8 closed environments because of carbon monoxide or diesel exhaust. How does a forklift steer differently than a car? A forklift has the steering wheels into the rear. It swings in a circle around the front wheels that support most of the load. In a car, the front wheels steer the vehicle. What direction do you not tilt the forks when picking up or depositing a load? Forward. How far away is a forklift considered unattended? 25 feet or out of sight. What do you do when you are going to leave a forklift unattended? 1. Lower the forks to the ground. 2. Set controls to neutral. 3. Turn power off. 4. Set the brakes. 5. If at an incline, block the wheels. What do you do when you are off the forklift, but within 25 feet of it? 1. Lower the forks to the ground. 2. Set controls to neutral. 3. Turn power off. What are the procedures you should follow for lifting and lowering people? 1. Use manufacturer-approved platform. 2. Have standard guardrails that top at 39 inches to 45 inches above the mid-rail and toe board. 3. Must prevent contact with the chains and shear points. 4. Platform must secure to forks with clamp or chain. 5. Nameplate and label attached to forklift. 6. Confirm lift mechanism doesn't drop fast than 135 minute. 7. Lock, secure tilt control to prevent boom from tilting. 8. Don't move between two platforms. 9. Operator not more than 25 feet from forklift. Class I locations. Flammable gases or vapors or where they may be present in the air in quantities sufficient to produce explosive or ignitable mixtures. Class II locations. Combustible dust could be sufficient to produce explosions. Class III locations. Ignitable fibers are suspended in the air but not in large enough quantities to produce ignitable mixtures. Unclassified locations. Areas not designated as Class 1, 2, or 3 location. How often is a forklift to be checked for defects? State regulations require the first time put into use and every day the forklift is used or after end of each shift if used continuously. It is safe to give someone a ride on your lift truck. False. Lift trucks use a hydraulic cylinder attached to chains to raise and lower the forks. True. Wide and long loads are more unstable than other types of loads. True. Before loading or unloading a trailer at a loading dock, you should inspect the flowfloffert, chockweek wheelster, makes with the tacticless, boards, and rampser and plasanes, and eniac pedaltha ferts. False Lindostricractals lift trucks are equipped wichical. Falsi off the 3 elastelistes, which is the mostel. Tilt head back the forfair tenten __ between thwag with f10tef. Carried, fulcrum pointion nortas inch pound equation, you must do sinfanteratenti. True the 3 mafaltorix truck, overhead guard, and hydraulic lift. True you can placortentas. Aslungasio hedradarid. Falsa wager kakarist, not by fasincthird. Falsa thelode kafafantishif. True which if thafafloflofshi. Erkula led powered listrantry lift trucks eriquiped wawikwara lakashisha. Lower antilthurks. True if the macafalistoriani, use hold retratorishik. Philcide spartafordab. True if your tricopters, don't jump. Stay in your seat grip wheel sukli brace yourself wider. What is wrong with interius, thetricus go and jindindin. Fakinjit with a full wintox. Driving in Thor granting in carrange. Noti off the bova feftantes ___. Unter wheel starentris. True con standard, if the engine off tufrift. Falsinian will velistirif. False when parking Cory, yashud. Park orly via farafefakik. Lower thefric sunchanteri. Turn of the engine, south the parking grequentance. When transport tingle, yashald notre darially aid off round. True you can drive a fariftry. False a wick of tantrafins. Kiga paflimburen forbenter. Hosk many days toff. 60 dice what do you wentera dairy 12 months if it's big spite. RESITA and OTHERAS SES SME and TWITHA and RTO. Do you have a torrent flow fry? I fish outen, yes. Every 5 years if you done have a forklift when can you doggerk? Win and Rolladine Turex forkliftlf. War at Triton of Ferris, I faskied by Emplory. HAVACURENTHRWLICNCOREVIDNCOFENRO BNTINAHRWTRNINGCOURCEITHA for penalties cantha fairdry. 1. License suspended to license cancelled. 3. Refusal at renewal for fine before you start work at a new job site. List 3 Pino Play World War Tartaball 1. Safety Office 2. Superviso. War Manager 3. Other workers. Soniac no work list. Od operating Gordlifindi. Before you suse it to phonatory risks. ATTHESTRTOFWORKORSSONASTHEHAZARDISID. NTIFIDWHENCRYNGOUTHRWWHATLEGALRESPO NSIBILITASDOYOUHAVEA. Sin operator. Works if eliforial torx isological sequiquintophanesis. Ard syntha workless. Huadera thesteps leglarik. Every syndiatable elimination, substitution, isolation. Engineering, administration. Pontwatar thementins. At closing parenthesis up to 1300 volts _MTB closing parenthesis between 1300 and 3300 volts _MTC closing parenthesis above 3300 volts _MTA equals 3, B equals 6. C equals 8 lens 4 options to 1. Call power company and seek exemption to turn power off 3. Use as Potter. 4. Insulation Hawadora Fofiftiftinit. Call the power company. List 12 site hazards you need to consider and plan for in the workplace before starting forklift operations. 1. Power line. East to. Underground services. 3. Pedestrians and other workers or people. 4. Plant and equipment. 5. Weather rain. 6. Bridges. 7. Lighting. 8. Dangerous materials. 9. Vehicular traffic. 10. Obstructions. 11. Slopes. Ramps and Nevans. First 12. Overhead services. Huadasadigar Tufeladeridid. Avaswalado Doidentor. What are 8 things I need door and Terrence? 1. Communication withers. 2. Equipment required. 3. Size of load. Large, small, light, heavy. Closing parenthesis for. Location. 5. Permit. 6. Capacity of forklift. 7. Access and egress. 8. Travel path clear. List in order. 5. Stipsiauschel Dofintif. 1. Warn others to stay away. 2. Break contact. 3. Stay in the machine if it's single quotes, SSA. I few muscle avishamik on fire. Jump clear without touching the forklift and shuffle or hop away. For. Report. 5. Inspect before use.